Everybody, what's up, man? Here we are. We need to get going, man, or I'm about to be late to work, which we cannot be. I don't like to be late to work. Normally, I like to try to show up a little bit like before work even actually starts because to me, I don't know, I don't like to start and then be setting up like after the time you should have been started, you know? But anyway, so what's going on today? Today it's a whopping 26 degrees out there. Awesome, super great. It's always my favorite, being super. I feel like a totally different person, you know? I feel like, you know, everybody needs to go and work, and, you know, this type of work too, it's like you get a little bit, you're really dependent on, you know, with my type of work because it's like I need to build something and then another crew comes in right after me and does things. Like this time, we're building a platform deck for a vestibule to get built on top of it, and we're actually not building that pop-out room Driftwood is. So, which is awesome because sometimes they'll build the rooms while we'll just come in and we'll frame things out, which is great. And sometimes when they get a little backed up, they'll have us build some of the rooms too, which is awesome. You know, I do actually enjoy building those rooms, you know. That's really clean work. It's nice to build additions, you know. You know, what's great is just getting out and going to work every single day. You know, having your coffee in the morning. Time for coffee. That's right, Scoob. Yep, we got our coffee. We got the famous Yeti cup today. Normally, like, this is the type of coffee, like, in the morning, I'll put, like, a splash of cream in it sometimes. Sometimes the coffee that, like, we make at the house is so strong that it's hard to drink it straight. And, like, normally, like, when I go to Wawa or other places, like McDonald's, I'll drink it black, you know, 'cause it's really good for some reason. I don't know why I'm a big fan of it that way, but I actually really try to watch it with the sugars and creams and stuff, because I think, for one, I'm lactose intolerant, and two, sugar's just not our friend. It's good, but it's not our friend. So yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, at least I get to go to work today. I'm pretty excited about that. I hope that we get this deck done today, because yesterday, it was almost like acclimation day of just getting back into being a carpenter, getting back to the swing of things again. And what's nice too is that we have other jobs now that are literally ready for us. So it's like, all I want to do is knock this job out today, go get the concrete done. We have concrete work we got to do this afternoon. And then hopefully tomorrow morning, we are hopefully on a whole other job, because like it would be nice to go bust out that landing, but we might have to wait an extra day or two because of the concrete footers we have to do. Like, you'll see today, if I have a chance, I'm going to share with you guys on a live stream what it's like building these decks that I build a lot of times in these campgrounds, because depending on what township I'm in, a lot of these campgrounds too hold their own rules. Like, they like the idea of these park models, and our decks are built like on not permanent platforms, meaning like yesterday, like the job that we're doing now, this job requires just putting blocks in, which are these concrete blocks that are like 16 by 8 by 4 inches thick, you know. And you know, it's really amazing because some people have said that would never hold up a deck. They still are holding up decks today in these campgrounds for over 30 years, you know, without any settlement, without anything. You know, it's pretty amazing how the design works really great. But see, that's just it. Like, yeah, we'll design these decks and these rooms and stuff like that for to always last a long time. But really, that's the idea of these campgrounds. They don't want them to be permanent because I guess they come and go with so many park models. So many people come in, they want a different deck because they want maybe more of a driveway. Some of the parking in some of these areas aren't really the greatest. So make sure my seatbelt's on. It's so funny, every time I do these lives, it's like I always slightly forget about my seatbelt until I realize it when I look packing myself. So, you know, and you know, besides all this work I'm doing too, I just love that I've been trying to push myself a little bit more with the YouTube channel, you know, like lately I need to definitely go get a haircut, that's for sure, and also I need to do a couple more things at my house that I've been pushing off because of, for one, the work idea, and two, it's just been so cold, you know, and like when I push myself to do anything, I realize that like I'll go out and fly if I have the chance to, if the weather's good enough, meaning like the winds. And then I realize like, man, I'll go out and fly around in 18-degree weather and freeze. So it's like I have nothing, no excuses to be going out and doing all these little projects that I need to whack out. You know, before I had the garage, I did everything outside, and now having the garage, I feel like I'm in like an ice box because the concrete floor is actually super cold, like it holds it like a freezer. So I gotta do something about that. I'm thinking about like snaking pipes underneath my garage because I actually have the chance to do that, and then run like whatever people do for heated floors in their garages, because wow, that's a huge pothole. I can't stand how cold my feet get in the shop, and I might even just put like a raised like mats on there too or something, because dude, that concrete floor is brutal. So, but regardless, though, it's Tuesday. We are heading to work, which I'm happy about. And I just checked the weather this morning. We were supposed to get like a lot of snow this week here. Now, I don't see any snow in the forecast here, which I'm happy about. I see some colder days to come, which is something that I don't really look forward to, but I don't care. I can eat through the cold with a positive attitude to get all this work done. We have, like I said, a bunch of decks that we just got lined up that I actually can't wait to just start on around noon. At your house, dude? Scoob, isn't that so crazy how like you've barely ever gotten snow and now here you are getting snow? So crazy, man. That's really wild, dude. Ah, man. Can't believe it. I just hope we don't get any snow here, but it's showing that we're not going to get it now, because I think the weather is going to be just, like, yeah, it's going to be cold, but I think it's going to be just either too warm or the direction of the, almost just got a squirrel. You know, my whole thing is, it's like, I can't believe it. Every time I see them, or any animal for that matter, way in front of me that's on the road, I'll just start beeping my horn. I don't care about how far away I am or how like close I am. As soon as I see them and I think I have time, or if I have the time to even react to hit my horn, I hit my horn, no matter the animal. But right there's these times where they run right out in front of you, where you don't even have time to react on anything. I almost think I probably like just nipped his tail there. Like I saw him run all the way across the street, but I mean, he felt the winds of the van tire. It's crazy, man. It's almost a shame that, yeah, they put all this money into the roads and all these gas under the roads and all this electric over the roads, but you guys can't figure out a way to somehow keep the animals from like being on the road. I feel like there's obvious ways of trying to at least slow them down, but it's like, I just don't get it. You know, you guys can tunnel gas lines all day into the ground, but you can't tunnel a couple paths for the animals to try to go underneath the street at least, or to just try to put some kind of a fencing up. Or like, you know, I always thought about how cool it would be to see like a, or like make something that like when we're driving by, I don't understand what's been going on. So Scoob actually made a comment about my live, and now you just made a comment about my live. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully my live stream isn't really that bad. Hopefully it's just like something going on maybe your guys' ends. I'm not really sure what's going on, because it seems like everything's good. It says I'm live up on the top left corner. Yeah, it says the clock is moving. We've been live for 16 minutes almost. So right now we're pulling into the campground. Got a weather alert. Yeah, I hope that the live stream's actually working right now. I'm not really sure. I can't really tell. Slide you over. All right, we are pulling in here. Oh man, it's so cold out, guys. Man, it's only gonna get like 9 degrees warmer today too. I think it's supposed to be like a high of 31 today, that's cold. And high winds. This is gonna be a fun one. I just started to think if I had my hat anywhere, which I'm probably going to wear. So we have 5 minutes, guys. So we can lap around the campground. Like I said, I normally like to get to the job site really early, but sometimes it is nice to just putt around the campground, soak in this heat for a few more moments, and remember how great it is to feel the heat, because for the next couple of hours, I'm going to be cold and outside. It's amazing how cold the weather gets sometimes, and how your body can adapt to it when you're moving around and working hard, you know. But it's amazing. This campground right now is I'm sorry, a ghost town. But it's crazy to think that in just a few more months, or not even really, and another, well, okay, so after this month, March, yeah, so the campgrounds start opening up in the end of March, early April. So to think, these streets are going to be packed. And it's so crazy to think, guys, that I built like, man, it's so weird to think I've touched every single deck in this campground. I've had a part in all these decks. Whether if I did it for myself, worked for my dad at one point, and even also, there was even a time when I worked for another guy that even did a couple of decks in here. So like, when you see any of the wooden handrail decks, that's actually from another guy who was one of my dad's really good friends. And he did all the wooden decks while dad did all the vinyl. So check it out. So these are those wooden decks I was just talking about. See how they're wooden handrail too? Wooden spokes, wooden kickers, everything's wooden. This section over here that we're actually driving in right now is actually considered the older side now. Very still modern homes though. All these park models all still very look similar, but man, the insides only get crazier and crazier. And so do the outsides. It gets, you know, longer lasting and stuff like that. Because some of these, behind some of the siding, doesn't even have plywood. It's just papered, which is, to me, not cool. Like, it's crazy that they can just put this wrap up, tie back wrap, and then throw windows in and stuff, and then they side it. And it's like, whoa, you didn't even plywood it. You gotta plywood that wall, man. But you know, it's just funny what some park models we're allowed to do. And now, every park model that we see, when we drop siding, it's always a plywood wall now. But some of these models that are the early, mid 2000 range, I don't know what was going on. Alright, so we are heading to the job there now. Let's see here, we got 2 minutes on the clock. My dad's probably already here. Yep, sure is. See him driving around, he's got the Jeep. Oh, alright guys. I'll check you out in the next one.